Are you sick and tired from cooking from scratch every single night of the week, not knowing what to make, and it just gets to be such a hassle? And does that lead to you ordering a lot of takeout and junk food? And does that lead to you maybe not feeling good and looking in the mirror and not being happy with how you look and being tired and just in a bad mood? Well, I think they're all related. So today, I want to talk about 5 healthy habits that you can start today and start feeling better tomorrow. Let's do it. Hi, I'm Bonnie Overman. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that my channel will inspire you to learn more, do more, and be more at any age. And in case you're wondering, I'll be 70 years old next year. I want to take a moment and I just want to talk about the video series that I'm kind of creating here. It's a series of 5 videos and it's Restarting 2020. And the reason I came up with that is because I think a lot of us with the pandemic and everything that's going on, and by the way, I send out my prayers and best wishes to you and your family during this time. Please stay safe and healthy. But it's kind of got us stuck. You know, we feel like we're kind of, instead of moving forward and improving our lives, we're kind of stuck in a way, and sometimes we're even moving backwards. So I was thinking about what are the things, the 5 different things that I think that we could work on and that I'm working on too. I'm not putting you on this journey all by yourself. I'm coming along for it. That would really help kickstart, restart, just reinvent yourself in this year. And so that is productive habits, which was my last video, which I'll link below. And this is 5 healthy habits. I'm going to talk next time about managing your money, and then about learning new skills and kind of, you know, if you have to look for a new job or you want to better your resume, or tips on job interviews, things like that, and then organizing your life. Now, when I'm done with this Restart 2020 series, I am so excited. I'm so excited. I love fall and I love Halloween and I love Christmas. It's like the holidays are coming. So I'm going to be doing a very small fall series on like decorating and putting together different outfits from the clothes you already have. And then I'm going to be doing a whole Halloween series. And we're talking about costumes, DIY, decor, themes, everything. And then of course I'll be jumping onto Christmas. So I just wanted to give you a rough idea kind of where I'm going. I figured if we work this hard this part of the year, the rest of the year, that we should have the rest of the year to have some fun. So just wanted to let you know about that. So let's talk about the different steps that you can do to really turn your health around, I would say. Now, again, I'm not a medical doctor. I am just sharing tips that I do myself and things that help me. At almost 70 years old, I feel great. I feel like I'm 40 years old. So, you know, I hope some of these tips might help you to feel healthy and energetic. The number one thing, tip number 1 is going to be eat for nutrition. I think our diet is probably one of the most important things in relationship to our health. And I think eating real food is a good way to go. Now, I'm not saying you still can't have burgers and fries and fried chicken and all that stuff. But I think if we add more real food to our diet, we're going to feel a lot better. And those real foods, well, that would be your organic fruits and vegetables. Again, if you have a special diet restrictions or you don't eat carbs or sugar, please don't do what I'm saying to do. Modify your diet for yourself. But organic fruits and vegetables, grass-fed beef, organic chicken and turkey, pasture-raised chicken eggs, and your healthy fats. Don't forget that. Your olive oil, coconut oil, your avocados, olives. There's lots of things that are really good for you that are what I call real food. They really don't have ingredients on them because they're basically just one thing. Now, you can't eat that all the time, and I'm totally aware of that. But read your ingredients, read your labels. If you have to buy something in a box or a jar or a bag or a box, read your ingredients. The ones with a lot of ingredients are probably not as healthy as maybe just a short couple ingredients. Watch out for hidden sugars and bad oils like corn oil and canola oil and soybean oil, dextrose, maltodextrin. There's sneaky ways that they get in sugar that they're not just saying this has got sugar in it. So read your labels. Try and get the most healthy ones. And for an example, I was going to get some pork sausage, and I was at the healthy grocery store, and there was one that had pork, salt, and I think some garlic powder or something in it, versus one that had the paragraph of ingredients. The bad oil. I think there was high fructose corn syrup in it. There was sugar, just a bunch of stuff that I didn't need. So of course I bought the healthy one there. So just a suggestion to try to eat real food when you can. And when you are going to eat the other foods, try to get the healthy ones if you can, that they have healthy choices for you. Now, I'm going to mention this when it comes to what you eat and being healthy, and that's to cut back on sugar. I checked on Google, and the average person eats 17 teaspoons of sugar a day. That's 71 grams. Now, to put that in perspective, one little serving of ice cream, plain ice cream, of course it goes higher, usually has about 15 to 19 grams of sugar in it. 71 grams? That's crazy. Now, I don't have to tell you, sweets, cakes, pies, cookies, candy, all that stuff's got tons of sugar in it. And a lot of them have a lot of carbs also, processed carbs. But I want to talk a minute about drinks, what people are drinking. One of the big offenders is fruit juice. Orange juice and all that type of thing can have up to 23 grams of sugar in 8 ounces. And a good alternative would be either squeeze your own orange juice or eat the orange, which has about 9 grams of sugar in it. So the next category, of course, is sodas. And sugary sodas have around 39 grams of sugar in a 12-ounce can. And what you might try to do instead is to either try diet sodas. There's stevia sweetened sodas now that don't have artificial colorings and all of that. Or do what I do, and I try to drink, for the most part, plain old iced tea I make myself. And I just take a pitcher, I fill it with filtered water, throw in 5 tea bags, put it in the refrigerator, and in about 20 minutes, I have iced tea. You don't have to sit it in the sun, you don't have to boil the water, and it's very mild. I don't even need to put sweetener in it. So that's a really good substitute if you can do that. The next group of drinks, I was shocked, okay? I'm not on the habit of the coffee you get with all the goodies in it. We're talking the caramely, chocolatey, mocha, whipped cream, all that stuff. That can range between 40 and 70 grams of sugar in those drinks. So instead, maybe make some coffee at home, with some sugar-free creamer. They're actually coming out with some creamers that are supposedly more healthy for you, and a little stevia. You're going to save money, you're going to save calories, and you're going to save that sugar rush. And the reason I'm talking about sugar is it keeps if you're not on sugar, your blood sugar stay more steady. But if you're on this sugar thing all day, it's like being on a roller coaster. The more you eat, the more your body craves. It's truly almost like a drug. So you say, okay, Bonnie, I'm not going to give all that up. Come on. I get that. So what I recommend instead is to do healthy substitutes. The foods you really, really like, the cookies and the muffins and all that, look at some of the keto recipes, because keto is going to be low sugar, low carb, and try to make some of your favorite things at home. You're going to save money, you're going to save the sugar, you're going to save the carbs. It's going to be kind of the way to go. And they have lots of sweet and salty treats both, so you can kind of have your cake and eat it too, so to say. So my second tip is to plan, buy, cook, and freeze your food. Now, you might say, well, I kind of do that already. Well, let me explain. So when I say plan, I mean really have an idea what you're going to make every day of the week. I don't know. I shop every week, so I assume most people do that and kind of plan out your meals. But I know people get stuck. It's like, oh God, what am I going to have every night? I have to think of something new. Here's a tip. You might want to take each night of the week and actually do a theme. So Monday could be sandwich night. Tuesday could be fiesta. Wednesday could be vegetarian, or Kids' choice, whatever they want. Thursday could be Italian, Friday could be breakfast for dinner. You could do some omelets or something like that, an egg dish. So that might help you think. So you're thinking, okay, so I'm going to need ground beef for tacos on Tuesday and for um, tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce on Thursday. And then you go ahead and buy that and you can make it. Now, here's the whole thing. And I didn't really understand the power of this until the pandemic happened. I'm keto. So I can't live on rice and beans and all that. So when most of the people were out buying toilet paper, I was out buying protein because I can't make it without my protein. I have to have that. So every week I'd buy 2 proteins, come home within a day or two, I'd cook everything, bag it in the freezer, put the date on it. And after about a couple of months, I'm realizing this is the way to do things, not to buy stuff, put it in the freezer, and then try to cook it. Because that's the reason why you go and get fast food. Because who wants to cook a half thawed out hunk of meat? It's all frozen in the middle and all warm and yucky on the sides. What are you going to make with that? So make it ahead. Make these things ahead. You can have bagged hamburger patties and ground beef and sliced chicken and beef. You can have, and then do your sides. If you're roasting potatoes, make a big batch and freeze them. Rice, beans, you can freeze everything. You can freeze scrambled eggs, cooked bacon, sausage that's cooked. You can freeze bread, tortillas, everything, cheese. So if you get in the habit of doing that, I have found, even if I buy fresh vegetables and I don't eat them all, then I'll just put them in the freezer. So that, I think, is the real key to not have to cook from scratch every night, and you're not going to be tempted. There's nothing to eat in the house. We have to go out to eat, or we have to order in, or we have to get pizza, or we have to do something. So I think if you get in that mindset of buying things, and right now it's barbecue season. I actually barbecue 3 grill loads of food. I'll do veggies, and I'll do chicken, then I'll do hamburger, and then next day put it in the freezer and I'm good to go. Tip number 3, move your body. If you watch my last video, I have a problem with exercising, and I've kind of gotten around that by just getting up in the morning, and I do my little time capsule of exercise, and I have 15 to 20 minutes every morning. I give myself 1 day off a week. And I do it, and it's done, and it's over. But, let's talk about maybe you're not in shape to exercise, or maybe you have some health issues. Walking is always a good start. Swimming, dancing, moving. I think that's an important thing. And when you're moving and you're exercising and throughout the day, make sure you stay hydrated. I'm not talking about drinking excessive amounts of water, but make sure you're keeping your body hydrated and keeping the electrolytes in your body too. If you tend to drink a lot and sweat a lot, there's some very healthy, non-GMO, stevia sweetened electrolytes, which are really good for you also. Now, tip number 4 is, I think, almost as important as what you eat. I really think the eating is the most important thing, because I think you are what you eat. But sleeping is so important. If you have a couple bad nights of sleep, that it just devastates you throughout the day. You are exhausted. You are starving, because your body kind of reacts like, when it's so tired, it's like, oh my gosh, I must need nutrition or need food. And it's almost like you tend to overeat when you're tired also. But I want to give you the main tips that I think are so important, things I've implemented in my life that has made a big difference in how I sleep. Number 1, no food or on devices 2 hours before bed. And if you have to be on your devices, wear blue blocker glasses. Here's why. Number 1, you don't want a lot of food in your system when you're trying to sleep, because you can't go to sleep when your body's digesting food. But the blue light that is emitted from our devices suppresses your melatonin, and that's a Harvard study proven. And you need melatonin to fall asleep. So It blocks that. So it gives you that busy brain, like you can't relax. You're like on edge. It's a horrible feeling when you cannot sleep, especially when you're tired to start with. It's really, really bad. So get some blue blocker glasses. I would recommend that anyway. And no food right before bed. If you're starving, I guess maybe a little piece of cheese or something to get you by would be okay, but try not to. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to customize your room, your bed, and whatever you sleep in. Here's what I mean by that. I think most people either they run hot or they run cold. I run hot. So I've taken a lot of steps to make sure that my bedroom is nice and cool. The air is clean. I have a fan. I have a separate air conditioning in my bedroom, and that I keep my bedroom very dusted and cleaned, and I do my sheets every week, and I keep my windows shut in my bedroom because there's so much pollen where we are. So I think that's really important. But if you sleep on where you're freezing all the time, definitely make your room so it's going to be nice and warm and toasty for you. Overall, the experts say cool bedroom is really conducive to sleep. So find a way to cool down your bedroom and get it ready for you. And then wear whatever you want to wear that you're going to be really comfortable in. Like I can't sleep without socks on. Some people can't sleep with socks on, but make sure that you follow your little routine. Customize your room, your bed. Okay, so on my bed, I don't have any blankets. I have a sheet and a comforter, and that is it. And I use my pillow. I love my pillow. But get things that are very comfortable. If your pillows are driving you crazy, try something else. If the sheets are making you sweat, change them out. I have 100% cotton on my bed. So it's very important to customize that and wear clothes to bed that feel good to you. Have a bedtime routine is the next thing I'm going to recommend under sleep. So about a half hour before you go to bed, or 45 minutes, you can, if you take a shower, then you turn down your bed, you turn on just the very basic lights in your bedroom. You might turn on the TV, make sure to set the timer. There's nothing worse than to wake up at 3 a.m. to home shopping, So, but take this time to kind of, have a routine you do every night. You kind of turn down the lights in the house, you kind of put things away. Just get ready to go to sleep. It's kind of signals your body it's time to go to bed. The next part I think is really important is to relax. I think it's important to get in bed, or even before you get in bed, and try and clear your mind of all the things that are driving you crazy. It's worrying about, gosh, we have so much to worry about right now too. It's really sad, but try to clear your mind. I try to just keep picturing my mind empty, and then I pictured a beach with nobody on it and the waves rolling in, and I relax my breathing. You can do some meditation. And I always say, go to bed in a good frame of mind. Make sure you're not watching really bad things on TV that will give you nightmares and things like that. And then I think everybody needs to find kind of what else can help them sleep if you need to. Now, I'm a big fan of essential oils, and I definitely, put a little on my wrist or my bottom of my feet before I go to bed. And I use some lavender, and a diffuser is great. They've kind of recommend that too. I know a lot of baby things are lavender scented because I think it induces relaxation and sleep. But see what works for you. Try some different things, and I think that will be good for you. So that's number 4, and that's sleep. I almost put myself to sleep there. Number 5 is good emotional health. Okay, so what does that mean? I'm not talking about mental health, and I'm not an expert in this field. I'm doing a disclaimer now. I'm just talking about some things that I've used that's worked for me to get me in a better headspace, so to say. If anybody, you or anybody you know, is desperate, in despair, and depressed, you need to get help. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the funk that we all get in during this, especially during this time. It is so frustrating. I would love to go see my granddaughters, and I can't do that. It's not safe for me to do that. So you kind of have to muster up a lot of strength. And we've never been through this before. So this is a very difficult time, I think, for a lot of people. But one thing I can tell you is try to be very aware of what you're thinking, of your thoughts. Um, I think we have a lot more time to think now, and I think sometimes we go into negative areas, and or we're really down on ourselves, like, oh, I should go do this, but I can't do that, and I'm going to screw it up, and it's not going to be good. No, no, no. Stop the negative records. When you start to hear yourself saying that in your head, stop it and get up and go do whatever you want to do and prove to yourself you can do it. Isn't it always the case? You always think it's going to be so hard, and then you get in there and start to do it, and you go, it took me 10 minutes, it was no big deal, I did it fine. Who cares if everything's perfect? If you're really, really stuck, I think one thing you can do too is to actually sit down and think about all the things you do have in your life. I know right now we don't have a lot in our life, but think about the things we do have in our life, the things that we can be thankful for, our friends and family. That is so, so important. It really, really is. We have a roof over our heads. Hopefully we have food to eat. We have a nice, peaceful place in our home. We have things we can do. We have crafts, and we have supplies, and we have, a lot of things to bring us joy every day. So I think being thankful for those things is really, really important. So I think the most important thing is when you do feel out of sorts and really kind of that down, kind of depressed feeling, get up and go do something. I'm serious. I think action, go text a friend or call a friend, or get up and do something, or pick up a book, or just go on YouTube and start looking at things that are going to uplift you. You need to kind of take action. I think the key is not to let yourself be in that bad area too long. You know what I'm talking about? I'm very aware sometimes when I'm depressed, and it's like, okay, it's temporary. I'm going to get out of it. Let's do something. I think another way is to put your efforts, instead of worrying about yourself and all these things, towards other people. So I think it's important to see, how is so-and-so dealing with all of this? I don't know. Let me call her, or text her, or him. Let's reach out to others. I think that's one way for us to stop just marinating in all of this bad stuff. And the last thing I want to say is that I think I've tried to do this anyway. I've tried to create in my home my own little world, so to say. And this might sound weird, but I really try to create a world that is safe. There's no COVID here. My husband and I are very careful not to bring anything in the house at all. I made it very comfortable, and I made it comfortable temperature-wise, and I burn nice candles and make it smell good. And we've started little routines and stuff that, they're kind of making it doable, because a lot of us have thrown from very busy jobs into absolutely all the time in the world, and that's not always a good thing. But I think it's really important to, if it's just you, your husband, your wife, or some kids, just make it a good time. Try to make some memories now, because very soon this will be over and the rat race starts again. We don't know what the future's going to bring. So I hope some of these things, either on eating, food, exercising, sleep, or being aware of your mood and why you feel that way, kind of keep a level on it. Because if you go day after day and you're just sinking further and further, you need to pick yourself back up. So I hope some of these tips help you. As I said, I'm still in my Restart 2020 series, and the next video is going to be on managing money. So I hope you'll stay tuned. I will see you next week, and until then, stay safe and healthy. Bye.